Thank you so much. For me, it's good afternoon. So thank you so much for having me on this amazing um, interaction that we're having today. My name is Thabang Nyatlo. I am from South Africa, and I'm the founding director of Ndabuko Consultants. This is a training and development company. We focus on entrepreneurship, agricultural, team building, and engagements. Today, my presentation is going to be about the skills in agriculture for a sustainable world. The reason this is a very important aspect within our work is because we have seen how much agriculture is important within our industry. And because of this, it's a whole global phenomenon that we need to understand fully on how to make it sustainable and how to ensure that all the right parties participate to make it a skill that everybody can possess. That we build a world that can sustain beyond many, many generations. And my favorite part about this topic is the word sustainability. It is a very broad term, but hopefully through this presentation, we can go into depth of why we think sustainability within the agricultural sector is important. Now, with sustainability, we see initiatives that go around doing many different things, and they try to preserve the resources. So in preserving the resources, we need to understand what we're preserving and why we want to preserve it. Now, Ndabuko Consultants' efforts are those that are defined in 4 distinctive categories. We deal with human, social, economical, and environmental. So these are the aspects that we have seen are the most important pillars of sustainability. Now, within sustainability in agriculture, the goal is to make sure that we reduce the input of external energies so that we can substitute with non-renewable energies so that we can be able to renew the sources, for examples like solar, wind power, and also biofuels from the agricultural waste. Now, where this economically can benefit is through many feasibility studies that have been done on animals and also human labor. With that, I would like to move on to my next slide, please. The theme of my presentation today, it will be providing inclusive collaboration for a sustainable world. So the word collaboration for me is very important because no man is an island. We cannot work by ourselves. And through the work of Ndabuko Consultants, we have realized that it's important for us to bring in the right and relevant people within the industry to help us achieve that. We're going to go through a little bit. When I pause, please just go next so that they can start, my flow can start appearing on the screen. Thank you so much. There we go. So our focus is within agriculture, forestry, processing, markets industry, and also conservation. Next, please. They impact on our transformed livelihoods. Next. They also impact on the environmental resilience of our efforts. They also impact on the transformed institutions. These are the bodies that actually work with each other to make sure that we succeed. And last but not least, we work on the wealth creation. Most people who go into agriculture want to be rich without understanding what that means. And richness and wealth are defined very differently. And within Ndabuko Consultants, we aim to teach them what the difference is. Next. So all these things are interlinked together to work to make a proper value chain. Next slide, please. Why did we choose agriculture? Firstly, Africa is known for its amazing agricultural spaces, landscapes, and even minerals. So agriculture has over 600 million hectares that are uncultivated. There's a whole Africa, not just in South Africa. And these stats show us that South Africa, and all the other African countries can be the greatest sustainable continent that can be able to bring within a sustainability in the world. Next slide, please. This is just a diagram that it shows us the contribution of agriculture within the industry between the non-agricultural produce and the agricultural produce. So if we look at the orange marker, which is the agriculture, It shows that within many different countries in Africa, it is the largest one that is producing. So it's only important that we focus on how to sustain this industry. Next slide, please. What are the effects of agriculture? You can do the next one as well. So these are the factors that Ndabuko Consultants focuses on within the agricultural sector. The wealth creation, which is the first one that people go into when they think about agriculture. They do this without understanding the whole value chain, which is what will bring about wealth within the agricultural sector. Next two slides. Well, next two columns, if I can call it like that. And the next one, thank you. Now, these are the importance, the ones that are in green, these are the ones that Ndabuko Consultants focuses on. And the reason we have put these together, through the research that we have done, we have realized that people go into this industry without understanding what they want to achieve and how they want to achieve it. All they know is, I love agriculture, I want to be rich. So through our training as Ndabuko, we ensure that we bring about the solutions to ensure that they get the right kind of training to be able to achieve the sustainability and productivity at the same time. Next slide, please. However, even with the efforts that we still put in, there's still some challenges, which is an avenue to be able to have collaborations within different industries and also Africa as a continent. So the biggest focus that we always find within the agricultural sector is financing. They always have a problem with finance, either in inputs, output, or even the running costs. And this has been the biggest thing that we focus on as Ndabuko Consultants. The second one that we always find an issue with, it's around the multidisciplines of institutions that need to come on board and are not willing to. So through conversation with Ndabuko, we are the ones that are trying to deal with these challenges that we face within the industry so that we can be able to build a sustainable world. Next slide, please. Now we go into what we do as Ndabuko Consultants. Yes, you can continue doing the slides, thank you. This is what we go into as Ndabuko Consultants. We talk to institutions. And when we talk to institutions, we try to make collaborations and to ensure that we are those that can be able to bring about good collaborations for the future. We look at skills, very important. Skills that we look into are ensuring that we are be able to fix ourselves and prepare ourselves to be able to execute this. Then we have resources. But with this, we have the number one that is already showing in red. That is very important. Either can be a red tape, can be a hurdle, but it has been the one that is giving us challenges in achieving what we want to achieve. The policies, policy formulations, and the alignment of growth agendas. We have the amazing ideas that can bring about sustainability, but we are stuck between the policies of past governmental roles. We are still being told about the past policies that do not apply to currently what the world is facing. And we have to have engagements that can be able to eradicate these old policies that can be able to incorporate innovation so that we can be able to achieve what we're trying to achieve for sustainability. The second one is the systematic human and organizational skills. If you don't have the right skills or know what you're doing with the skills, there's no way that you're going to achieve that. And that is what Ndabuko Consultants is focusing on. Our training and development programs focus on giving you the right skills within the policies, the right skills within the production to ensure that you have a productive and sustainable world within your business. Last but not least, the right investment collaborations. We understand that most business need funds to run. Sometimes it's not capital cash, it's just resources to ensure the company runs. And that's where we come in to find collaborations that can assist agricultural companies to be able to advance. Next slide, please. What do? We focus on understanding what your business is looking for, and we help you to have a production plan for either 5-year, 10-year, depending on your goal. We also help you to be able to draw down what you're trying to achieve, tell you of your product. We have been through so many projects that some of them went from being a bakery to completely producing toilet paper because they saw that the feasibility and sustainability of doing bakery cannot bring them to where they want to be. And the reason I use this example of bakery and toilet paper is because that is also within the value chain of agriculture. Those who produce bread, baked goods use flour, and flour comes from the field. Even those who use toilet paper, some use biodegradable toilet paper that needs to go back to the ground. That is building sustainability. How do we achieve this? Through value chain of sector skills and training. How you train and how you execute the training that you have received is of utmost importance for you to be able to reach your goal. So we use different avenues, which is internships, university training, collaborations, CAT-CETAs, and also different other institutions that provide training within the agricultural value chain. Next slide, please. And how do we achieve this? We start with research. You can't do anything without understanding what you're trying to do. So we go into whatever field or whatever value chain or whatever industry that we want to look into. As you come to us as our client, we look at what you're trying to do and we do some research on that. Then from there, we come with innovative training that is custom made for your company. And once we get there, we get the value adding aspects because there's no business that works in silos. Anything that comes from every business can be used elsewhere. If there's waste, it can be used somewhere else. Then once we do that, we look at the profitability and also the collaborations. And this whole cycle feeds into each other from the beginning to the end again. And once you have this kind of training from Ndabuko, then you have a complete value chain that can provide you with sustainability, but also a productive business. Next slide, please. It's also how we do this. We have accredited trainings. So we train from health, we train from physical agriculture, we train from admin agriculture, because some people don't think agriculture has admin. There's bookkeeping, there's marketing, there's digital marketing. So we have about 102 different accredited trainings that we have from level 1 until level 4, which provide an in-depth physical and practical training on how you need to do what you need to do skill-wise to be able to achieve productivity, but most importantly, sustainability within your business. Next slide. These are pictures of the trainings we do. From onboard training, we go to the outside, which we believe is very important. When you learn with your hands, when you learn with your body, you are able to remember what you learned. So we go through various team building trainings, and these trainings are the ones that provide the kind of training that allows people to remember what they learned, to ensure that what goes in the boardroom on the left-hand side can go also outside within the implementation of the activities that we do. We work with young individuals who, brave enough, some do high ropes, because a high rope activity can also build confidence within people. And those who are brave also go through the wall that requires physical strength, because sometimes your physical can make your body healthier. Next slide, please. And why do we do this? Firstly, we empower the community by doing free projects. Philanthropy is one of the most important things that we can do as an organization. And we do this to sustain those who cannot sustain themselves. We go through different communities, turning dump sites into agricultural sites. You can move on with the pictures. Thank you. So this is an orphanage that we worked on, and we gave them a garden to be able to have their own food within the orphanage instead of always going out and asking for donations. Then we turned this dump site into an agricultural, actually a community agricultural garden, where they can just go and pick the garden and we go and maintain that garden for them. And the reason we do this is to show that when you work together as a community, you can have even a food basket that we go and give out to the community. Those who have funds can buy it for as simple as 65 Rand in South African rands. And these efforts are trying to build economies. We have a company that is doing honey, and we have a big farm that people can come and do practicals in, where they can learn these skills physically as well. And then we have yes, you can continue with the tire one. And then we continue with those who are not directly in agriculture. They are in entrepreneurship, and this is what we do. We show them how to make their product a valuable product that can have a value chain and be able to reach the market and continue to be sustainable. We drive cars. there will always be tires. So let's make use of tires. And the last but not least, most important one that Ndabuko is very proud of, we have produced 5 farmers who are going to participate in the Female Entrepreneur Awards tomorrow. Actually, okay, tomorrow for me is Friday the 11th. So on Friday the 11th, they'll be participating in Gauteng's Farmer Entrepreneur Awards. And we're hoping that all 5 of them win, because our efforts have shown them how to begin from nothing. One farmer had 100 hectares, 1 hectare when they started. Now they have 100 hectares that they're planting on. So it's through these things that Ndabuko is trying to achieve, ensure that policy do not hinder the work of sustainability, to ensure that we have the right collaborations, to ensure that we can be able to make the right partnerships and achieve this for our communities. Because when the community achieves, we are the ones that achieve. And the most important thing that I always say to the people is, if you can't do it yourself, nobody's going to do it. So we have to take the stand to start. And then from there, everything else can be sustained through training and development. Thank you so much.